Hello and welcome to All the Things podcast. I'm Debbie O'Keefe, and thank you for coming along today. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. All opinions are my own. Should you have a medical condition, then you should seek the advice of your GP or other medical practitioner. Well, this is a kind of bonus episode today, completely unscripted. This is like the traditional waffle today. No bullet points, no notes, nothing. Just whatever's in my head is going to come out. It's also a little trial run of actually just doing a little video as well. Normally, I'm not particularly confident about showing my face on things. And I think I've got a face for radio, let's put it that way. But I just kind of feel like sometimes you want to have a look and see at the person that's chatting away at you. So this is a little trial run of it. So call it a bonus episode, call it what you will. Will also be using a video on my other social media channels as well. So let's see how it goes, shall we? Let's see how it goes. I don't get a lot of listens on my podcast. And I was talking to my husband the other day about it, and he said it's not your content that's the issue. You talk about a lot of things that a lot of people will be interested in. They just don't know how to find you. So I don't know, do you have a podcast or do you listen to other podcasts? Any advice and tips gratefully received, because I do have a lot to say about mental and physical health and wellness that I think a lot of people would like to take note of, but don't even know I exist. I know, it's awful, isn't it? I mean, today I've been thinking about this for a little while, but more so over the weekend and yesterday. And I thought I'm going to go for it. And I want to talk about running. Now, this is specifically running to me, but it could be any kind of exercise to those who enjoy exercising, or should I say over exercising. There's a massive warning in this. What I would say to people is please be very, very mindful of the effects of over exercise. And those people, if you're listening to this and you can identify that somebody in your life is just how I'm about to talk about myself, then I think you need to take note and maybe have a quiet word with them. Now, they probably won't listen to you. But if they don't, then put them onto this podcast right now and make them listen to it, because I've got quite a valuable thing to say. Now, I always called myself a runner. First and foremost, what do you do? Oh, I'm a runner, because that was the thing I did most in my life, I would say, particularly in the exercise world. Did obviously mix it in with resistance training, kickboxing massively at one point. Kickboxing was as big as running. And obviously now I've got massively into doing yoga. Now I'm not young anymore, but I'm not massively old either. I'm 51 years old. At the point of recording this, well, I'm never going to do any more. Let's put it that way. Done over 100 marathons, over 25 years of running marathons. Now that is a long time and a lot of impact on your body. And there is nothing wrong with running a marathon or even a couple. But when you do it over a large period of time, a long period of time, and if you look at the stats, go and have a look at the stats on Loughborough Uni's information there, there is a risk of heart issues with consistent ultra running, long distance running. So there is a really, really big risk that you're doing some damage to your health over a long period of time. Not to mention compaction of your body, your joints. But what I want to talk about today is the mental health aspect of it. And I had a massive confession to my husband this week. And when I said to him, I suppose it only dawned on me as the words were coming out my mouth. But I said to him, I always thought that I had a sort of a mental escape, a freedom when I'm running. I always thought like that's the most important thing, and I had to get my run in. I was running 5, 6, 7 days a week. Marathon training, obviously, I was doing 7 days a week. I wasn't taking rest days. I was a very, very, very silly girl. Let's put it that way. Older and wiser, the more I teach about health and fitness, the more I'm learning myself, and the more I'm putting my bad mistakes into a better place. I'm making up the difference now. Hopefully, not too late. But so I'd be like, yeah, I need to go for a run. And those are the words, I need to fit in time to go for a run. Now, that may well be not seeing other family members, not going out somewhere, not doing this, that, and the other. Basically, moving and changing my lifestyle around because I had to go for a run. That was what I thought. That was like my little head went, I have to go for a run. Now I find it laughable now that saying those words in my head only a short time on from stopping running. But what I've found is, and this is what I said to my husband, the pressure of needing to go for a run was actually causing me more damage to my mental health than the running was making up for doing it. So the stress, the anxiety, the worry about maybe not being able to fit in going for a run was through the roof. And then I go for a run, I go, oh, I feel so much better for that. But I didn't, because then I get back and I'd be like, okay, when can I go running tomorrow? When can I go running the next day? It was ridiculous. And I can kind of liken it now to, so I've been over 5 years alcohol free now. And always said that when I stopped drinking alcohol, you get this massive sense of freedom. Because it used to be like, get to the weekend, Saturday, oh, I've got 3 hours and then I can go to the pub or whatever. And the thought of going to the pub and that tie to the alcohol was the only thing that was going through my head. Oh, I've got 3 hours. And you just almost kill 3 hours and then you could go to the pub. The draw of going to the pub was huge, and the amount of my brain that thought took up was incredible. And as soon as I went, I'm never drinking alcohol again, the freedom, the escape that I got was huge. It was massive. And I liken it now with the whole running thing. It's like I'm not like pressured to do it. I need an hour. I need an hour for myself. I need an hour to go for a run. I mean, God, honestly, they're really looking at it now. Only up until recently do I realize how bad my mental health was, that I felt focused on that and I felt that need. And I've had that need for a long time in my life. And I think you tend to find with people who exercise a lot, over exercisers, there is this kind of need that you get. And now it's the endorphins, obviously. I exercise because I love the kick I get out of it. But people may say, oh, you're addicted to exercise. I'm not addicted to exercise itself. I'm addicted maybe to the feeling that it gives me. Although I think addiction's a bit of a strong word, because it's not that, it's not that cardio. The cardio high is brilliant, but I also get the same feeling from moving gently now with yoga. And I think we are, as humans, designed to move around a lot. That's what we should be doing. And I think the people who say to me, oh, you're addicted to exercise, are the people that don't necessarily move enough in their lives. I'm going to come out and say that. It's true. People that like have a go at me about it don't exercise enough. Plain and simple. We are designed to move. That's what our bodies are there for. But we are also designed to be kind to them. And that's what I do now. Now, my first instance of stopping running was when I was injured. And weirdly, it wasn't running that injured me, but running exacerbated the injury. And I don't run anymore. Pretty much, I would call myself a former runner. I run to and from the van just for convenience, because it's quicker. I never grew out of that. You see kids in a playground just running around madly. I never really grew out of it. I think at some point most adults stop doing that because they go, oh, I might as well just walk. It's sensible and adult. I still do the running around thing. I still skip. I do stuff like that. But that's kind of the most amount of running I do now. I don't have this need, this craving to go out and jolt my body on the ground. Like, it's just, and it's weird how my mind can change like that, but I don't have it anymore. I don't have that need because I guess my life's fulfilled in other ways, or I've worked out how to be kinder to my body and my mind. But that massive realization, and I think, if you're listening to this now and you go, oh, I have that. I have that. I have to go out and do this. I have to. It might not be running. You might have to go cycling. You might have to go to the gym. You might, whatever it is, you have this desperate need to get out and do something on your own. You have to almost have a little look at yourself and go, what am I running away from? What am I escaping from? And I think for me, it became habitual. I lived on my own for a very long time. I did my own stuff. I was very selfish. And so, yeah, I could just go off. And actually, was I running out of boredom as well? Was I filling a gap that wasn't filled with something else? Whatever it is, I need to do a lot more looking deep into this. But I wanted to just talk to you about that first realization I had this weekend, was actually admitting to my husband, actually going, running actually wasn't doing me any good at all mentally. It was actually making my mental health worse. And so with that realization now, I can go, okay, that's a good thing I've stopped. But now also knowing that means I can help more people because I know what's triggered it. So if you have that kind of deep need to run all the time, you need to look at why you're doing it. Now, initially for me, I had an eating disorder. I say I still have it. Never ever leaves you. You just learn to be healthy with it. Not hope in hell I would let it control me anymore, but it kicks around in the background. But initially, I think that was because of that. It was like, okay, well, if I want to eat what I want to, whatever, then I have to go for a run. Now, of course, running isn't the best thing for fat burning. Resistance training is. We all know this. I knew it even when I was going running, but I felt like I was burning more fat because I was running and sweating and panting, and I felt that that was good for me, and therefore I wasn't going to get fat. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Because since I've stopped running and actually done more yoga, I've not so much lost weight as such. I've changed shape, but I haven't gained weight. I haven't turned into a massive fat person overnight because I don't run anymore, which is interesting. My body has changed shape, lost my quads a bit, but I'm still training. I do HIIT training. I do yoga every day. I do resistance training at least 2 or 3 times a week, gentle resistance training. So it's not like I'm not doing anything, but I'm being a lot kinder to my body. And I don't have that kind of like mental pull to have an hour off to myself and run. I maybe need to take 10 minutes out and do a bit of nice meditative breathing or yoga. But that's good for me. And I do try and encourage my husband to do it with me, and occasionally I win and he does it. But, and you know what? Men are good at yoga, aren't they? Have you ever seen that? Men are brilliant at yoga. Whenever we do it, I'm astounded because he's strong and he's very tall and long limbs, and he looks very elegant when he's doing it. And I'm like struggling and looking awful doing it, but I'm still doing it. And that's the thing with yoga. It doesn't matter what you look like or how well you do at it, as long as you do it. But yeah, he's very good at yoga. So maybe I'll get him to do more. So anyway, this is time's up really. I've said what I had to say. If you personally have the same issue that I had with a need for excessive exercise that actually stressed you out more than you got out of it, then get in touch with me. Let me know. And maybe I can talk you through how to recover from it, because that's exactly what you need. You need to kind of change your mindset on it and take a little relax back from it. Or if you know somebody that is, you kind of think, oh, you're doing too much. You don't need to do that all the time. You're doing too much. Why are you putting your body through that? You're looking a bit ill. Your body looks tired, you know. If you know somebody that's like that, then show them this video too. And anyone needs any help, you know where I am. Got my own business. Do it virtually. We can do hypno with you. We can just talk it through, however you want to do it. But that is the score. And this is the end of my bonus on All the Things podcast. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And it was a bit waffly because it's completely unplanned. But I do believe I got my point across. Stay safe and well, and be kind to your body and your mind.